There's a version of you 5 years from now on who's achieved every single goal they planned out and is living their dream life, but not you. It's only a figment of your imagination. Because you don't stick to your goals. You start strong, then you fall off. You do what you feel like doing, not what you should be doing. And be honest, how many times have you said to yourself, new year, new me, and still repeated the exact same year as before, with the same old habits and with the same routines? And here's the truth, the future version of you exists, but the question is, will you make the decision right about now that will get you to her? And all you need is a strategy, one that is evidence-based, practical, and is designed to keep you consistent. And in this video, I'm going to guide you through a step-by-step system that will turn your dreams into a real actionable plan. Keeps you consistent when life gets messy, helps you adapt, and that helps to constantly upgrade your progress. We're going to identify who you want to become, set specific actionable goals, set structured plan, and set a system that will automate your progress. But first, hi, I'm Aymana and I'm a psychology graduate. I'm on a mission to achieve the impossible and I'm taking you with me. And here you'll get behavioral science strategies, real self-growth principles, and my own life experiences. So let us begin. So let me start with a story. A long time ago, like about 5 years from today, I used to compete in judo. And let me tell you that I never once lost a championship. I always won the first golden medal. And if you came into my room and checked my file, you'll see like a bunch of golden medals. I won first place at the state level championship numerous times, and I won the first place at the national championship in my country. And judo is hard. I used to train every single day, coming home at midnight when I had school tomorrow. I used to train twice a day in the few weeks before the championship, and my father used to train me extra on top of that. And let me let you in on a little secret. My father always used to tell me to visualize. He used to tell me to picture myself in the fight doing uchimata, which was my signature technique. It was a ritual I did before I went to sleep. So every night before bed, I used to always picture myself doing uchimata over and over again, like a broken record. And during my championships, I did nothing but visualize and praying. And even during the match, it was a loop in my head that did not stop. And I always won. And that is the power of visualization. It is not magic, it is neuroscience. When you vividly start imagining yourself doing something over and over again, your brain begins to build neural pathways as if you had actually lived that experience. And I think you've heard that before, but your brain cannot distinguish between imagined and real. So the action starts to feel natural to you, very familiar, as though you have done it before. So let me ask you this one question. If me visualizing doing uchimata made me a champion, what would possibly happen if you started visualizing your future self every single day? And this is where the vision setting comes in. And if you watched my last video, which is my first video, the reflect, reset, and grow, you would have done the emotional work. You would have already reflected on your personal habits, your mental patterns, your cognitive distortions, what worked, what didn't, what aspects of you do you want to leave behind, and what you want to bring with you towards 2026. And you would have already defined what you want your life to look like in the main areas of life. So I recommend you watch that video. I'll link it down below. So today we're not doing that work. We are building on it. Now that you know who you were and who you don't want to become, it is time to build who you are becoming. So what is vision setting really is? It is not what you want to achieve that comes in the next stage, the goal setting, but the vision setting is defining who you want to become in the next 5 years. So some people advise that you set your vision in about 5 years or 10 years from now on, but we're going to stick with 5 because like psychologically it is the perfect distance, not too far off or not too close. So like you get the chance to actually evolve. So what's the psychology behind vision setting? As we said before, your brain starts to build neural pathways. And also when you picture yourself succeeding, your confidence naturally grows. And your self-efficacy improves and you start to believe that those goals of yours are actually achievable. And that belief will make you more likely to follow through. So this isn't just about you visualizing your future, it is identity programming, it is mental training. And that's how you do it the right way. I want you to start imagining yourself a day in a life of your 5-year-old future self. Now you're 5-year-old, your future self in 5 years. So I want you to take that moment, become an author, and dedicate 15 minutes, write down an ideal day of your life. And I want it to be as delusional as possible. And here are some questions to give you some inspo. So, how do you start your morning? How does your body feel like? What habits are part of your routine? What is your morning routine like? Where do you live? What do you do for a living? What career path are you in? What accomplishments defines your year? What are you proud of? And how are you emotionally, spiritually, mentally? What is your energy like? What do you radiate? Do you radiate confidence? Have you overcome your insecurities? How do you speak? How do you think? How do you make your decisions? And what traits describes you as a woman? And once you write everything down that is your kryptonite, I want you to save it or print it out, put it up on the wall, and always keep it in sight because you're going to read it every single day, okay? And get those nerves firing. Your vision is powerful, but remember that a vision without a plan and without a specific goal is just a dream. And that brings us to the next stage. So the vision setting asks the question of who do I want to become? Now the goal setting asks the question of what do I want to achieve? And here's a challenge for you. I want you to tell me the difference between these two statements. I want to lose weight and become fit, and I want to lose about 8 kilograms in the next 8 weeks. One goal is dumb and the other goal is smart. Can you guess which one? Wrong. The second one is the smart one. The I want to lose 8 kilograms in the next 10 weeks. So most goals fail because they are too vague. They don't have a time bound. The first one, I want to lose weight and become fit, is unachievable. Like, when will you know that you have achieved said goal? Smart goals gives your brain clarity and direction. But how do you set smart goals? It's in the name. S is for specific, M measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. So from your vision, write 3 to 5 SMART goals across these areas: professional, personal, and health and physical. Now, SMART goals tell you what you want. However, it won't help you stick to them. Why? Because many obstacles is guaranteed to stand in your way. From lack of discipline to lack of motivation to lack of resources, from negative beliefs that will convince you that you're not good enough. And you must approach them wisely. So you need backup plans. You need to identify all the obstacles that will stand in your way and create an if-then plan for each obstacle. So let me show you how with a personal example. So one of my SMART goals this year is getting monetized in YouTube. So acquiring 1,000 subscribers in the next 3 months. So I can already predict many obstacles that will stand in my way, that will stop me from achieving this goal of mine, from feeling like my videos aren't worth it anymore, feeling that I'm putting effort into nothing. So like getting low engagement to not getting much traction or views. So I can already predict all the obstacles that will stand in my way, that will stop me from acquiring that goal, from feeling like my videos are not worth it anymore because I'm not getting much traction, low engagement, feeling like I'm putting effort into nothing. And a backup plan that will never fail to get me out of this low mindset is reading my reminders that I have written in my notes app. It gives me instant motivation. It reminds me that there's nothing called failure, it's just you giving up. And that consistency guarantees progress and success. And that low views are not equal to low worth. And if I do improve with every video I create, that is progress within itself. That reminder, it never fails to get me out of this I want to quit mindset and puts me straight back into lock-in mode. And you gotta just be creative with it. So for every obstacle that you think of, I want you to write an if-then statement that will act as your shield. So now that you know what you want to achieve, then how will you actually achieve it? So we need a plan, we need to create momentum, so let's jump straight into the next stage. Now we turn the SMART goal into a sequence of actions, a plan. But planning your 5-year vision all at once seems impossible. We're going to reduce it to 1 year. What do you want to achieve this year that will get you closer to your vision in 5 years? But planning your entire year seems overwhelming, and that you will probably procrastinate till November. So we're going to reduce it to 12 weeks. We're going to use one of the most effective frameworks to achieving your goals that doesn't even leave enough space for you to get lazy or procrastinate because there's no time. That is the 12-week year framework. In this system, each week is a month and every 12 weeks is a year. So you get about 4 years in this year. So this framework destroys your procrastination and it increases your urgency because there's no I will start next month because each week is a month. So from your SMART goals, choose 2 to 3 goals that matter the most for the next 12 weeks. Then we're going to break each goal into weekly actions. So let's use my personal example from before, which is getting monetized in the next 3 months in YouTube. So here I have my planner. I'll be reading from it. So here's how I turn my goal into a 12-week year plan. So the weekly tasks that I wrote down is post 1 video every week and improve something in every upload. So like that is the progress I was talking about earlier. And examine analytics weekly and try new thumbnail ideas. Now I want to turn those weekly tasks into daily actions. So here's how I'll go about it. I'm going to focus on 1 video per week. So I'll dedicate the Sundays to planning my video, Mondays to writing the script, and Tuesdays to filming, and I'll spend like 4 hours on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday to fully editing the video, so from raw footage to polished ready to post video. And on Friday I'll set an hour to create my thumbnails, and Saturday is my buffer day to like handle any unfinished tasks. And I'll also spend about 2 hours engaging with my audience, and on Sunday I will upload the video and start the whole cycle again. And from my weekly tasks, you can see that most of them are covered. So for the reviewing my analytics point, I'll dedicate Thursday for it. And this is how your 12-week framework turns your SMART goal into a predictable weekly execution plan instead of random bursts of motivation. Simple, right? Wrong. Planning does not guarantee behavior. And this is where the next stage comes in, system. All right, so now we have our vision, our SMART goal, and our 12-week plan, but none of it really matters if you don't have a system. This is where consistency comes from, and results are maintained by creating habits, routines, backup plans, and occasional reviewing and reflection and progress tracking. So a system is basically your automatic routine that will help maintain your progress. So let's get straight into it. So we're going to start with an identity question. Whenever you contemplate any decision, any choice, you're going to ask yourself this: is this what the woman I am becoming would do? That question is the foundation of your system. Your habits, your decisions should match your future self. If she's healthy, if she's consistent, if she's disciplined, that should be reflected in your system. So your system consists of Keystone Habit Model. So instead of creating a bunch of habits that will likely lead to you burning out, you're going to do this. You're going to pick one keystone habit, not just any habit. It's a habit that simultaneously improves many other aspects of your life. And that leads to a small win in the morning, and you're going to stick to it. So what's the difference between a keystone habit and a normal one? So let's take an example. Exercising first thing in the morning. This is more in the extreme side, but it is an ultimate habit. It forces you to wake up early, it reduces stress, forces you to also eat healthy, and you start your day with a win, so you're more likely to continue doing progress throughout the day because you're motivated now. Another keystone habit is reading first thing in the morning, which makes you wake up early, it reduces stress, it increases your knowledge and vocabulary, and it stimulates your brain. See where I'm going with this? So all these habits have multiple benefits, and most importantly, they create a sense of accomplishment first thing in the morning. So choose one habit that leads to multiple wins and be consistent with it throughout the entire 12-week plan. And you must track your progress with that habit and what benefits it led to, because you're going to review it later. Now we need a bulletproof backup plan for the unhealthy habits we were conditioned to fall into. Doom scrolling, skipping workouts, feeling unmotivated, always tired. Those small behaviors can destroy our progress and will make us stuck in that same cycle we're trying to escape. We're creating the same if-then statements as before, but specifically for unhealthy habits. So here are some examples. If I feel like scrolling, then I'll read for 5 minutes. If I miss a workout, then I'll go on a 12-minute walk. If I feel unmotivated, then I'll just work for 10 minutes. This strategy ensures that you're still making progress, but at a much slower rate, but you're still moving, which is the most important thing. And comment down below one keystone habit that you will commit to, declare it, and say it out loud and inspire others. and I will hold you accountable. Let us help each other out. Now, how will we know if we're still moving forward and identify what didn't work? We don't, unless we occasionally check in. That is why we'll need a weekly review system. If we don't review, we repeat. And what if we're repeating something that is actually slowing you down? Occasional reflection protects that progress. So once a week, let's say Saturday or Sunday, I want you to sit down and ask yourself the following questions. What worked? What didn't? What needs adjustments? This keeps you conscious and aware of your progress instead of following through like a blind robot. If something isn't working, you tweak it. So this is your system. They work because they rely on routine and repetition and brings structure to your life. So in short, without a goal, you don't know where you're going. Without a plan, you get lost. And without a system, you stop halfway. But let me be real with you for a second. If you create the best system in the world, create the perfect plan, color code every step, nothing will work if you don't do this one thing. It's discipline. Babe, if you're serious about changing your life, you gotta stop relying on motivation and start operating from a disciplined mindset. It means doing what must be done despite not wanting to. It means being so goddamn disciplined that your emotions have no power over you. It all comes down to your will and determination, not a plan, not a strategy, but it starts with a strategy. And I guided you through that in this video. If this video helped you or even lit a small spark inside of you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because I post every week and I'm just getting started. And I'll see you in the next one.